Hi, darlings. Thank you so much for joining me on the Creative Retreat channel today. And today I have a Bible journaling process for you, going through the hives and homes. And I wanted to document some of the reflection questions that I wanted to work through, but I wanted to do it in a way that we can use, or I could use. I wanted to show you how I am going to use the journaling cards to do that. In my video earlier in the month, I did the exercise of a reflection question 1, where I wrote down the noun and the verb definition to exile. And so I didn't get to use that in my journaling that day in my page. It just didn't fit, but I wanted to go back and use some more of these journaling cards. I have cut out some of the printables and I have my stamp set. I have some of the stickers. I have some of the swatches as well. And I'm going to dress these up, add them to my Bible, and answer some of the reflection questions. So I wanted to show you how I did that. And I'm going to put you on fast forward. Let's dig in. Okay, darling. So first I'm going to start with the first half of the video. This is going to be basically focused on these journaling cards and getting the reflection question answers on these journaling cards. I want to jazz them up a little bit. So I pulled out some old stickers that are small that have some numbers because I knew I wanted to make a list for question number 3. And then I'm looking at my reflection questions to the left and kind of seeing these are the questions I need. This is the space that I need and how I'm going to put that on the journaling cards. So there's a lot of muss and fuss when it comes to this because I don't automatically know how I want to dress up these journaling cards, but I know I want to leave enough space for journaling. So what the first thing I say is, okay, first let me place this on the back of some cardstock. I had printed these journaling cards on copy paper. Usually I do it on cardstock, but I don't know why I didn't. So I'm going to back these up to make them sturdier on some cardstock printed paper that I had. So there you saw me do the first half with some paper that I had in my stash. Here I did 2 more, and now I'm going to work on the last 2. There are 6 different journaling cards that come with the kit. There's also 2 on the back of the devotional, and there are 5 reflection questions. So I wanted to do a title card, and then I'm doing the 5 reflection questions. So that will complete all 6. On the first one that I work on is question number 3, which says, list some practical ways that you might dig in while living in the foreign land. And basically I numbered that 1, 2, and 3. And what I end up writing out is 1, I want to fulfill what God has called me to do in my life, both in my home and my church. Number 2, settle. I want to be content where God has placed me in this season, and I want to build my life here. And number 3, multiply. I want to make sure that I'm multiplying in knowledge and in spiritual strength as I prepare myself for the next season that God has for me. So that's all I wrote out on that one. And then the next one I am working on is question number 4. It says, God told Jeremiah and the Israelites that he had a plan, a hope, and a future for them. How does this bring you hope today? So here you see me, I just write out what my plans are in comparison to what God's plans are, and how much better and greater God's plans are than mine, and how that brings me hope. So I journal a little bit about that. I add a B, and then I stamp out my plans at the top of there. Now I'm working on the journaling card that's going to be for question number 2, and this is, how do you relate to the exiles who had received the message through Jeremiah? And here I'm just reflecting on basically seeking the Lord with all my heart. The exiles, what they had to do in order for them to stay tied to God during that time is seek the Lord. And so I'm just writing out here that when I feel displaced or without a purpose in this fallen world, what I need to do is what God told Jeremiah to tell the exile. I need to seek the Lord with all my heart, and I need to find in him his perfect plan for my life and also finding him the peace in his presence that I have been looking for. I am not going to find that in this fallen world. I can only find that in him. So here you see me use some of the principles. I add some wonky hearts. Over on the top right, it says seek the Lord. And on the bottom, it says all your heart. So I have all of my journaling cards. That last journaling card I actually did off camera because it's a prayer of gratitude, and that's just a little bit more personal. But here now I'm in my illustrating Bible. So I'm blocking out Ezekiel chapter 36, the verses 16 through 38. Now here we are focusing on verses 34 through 37, but I blocked it all out because it all talks about the restoration of Israel's people, and it's all part of the message that God has for his people. I grab the stencil. I'm using all the things for this page, and I'm going to use a metallic gold pen that I picked up in the dollar section at Target. And I'm using that just to create some honeycomb outlines. I didn't want, there's so much that's going to be on this page that I just wanted the outline of the honeycombs and not fill them in completely. And this is also a different way you can use the stencil. If you don't want it filled in, you can just do outlines. And so now I'm going to start putting together this waterfall effect. Basically what I'm doing is I'm going to lay down these journaling cards, and they're going to be flip upable. That is not a word, but here we go. Basically, I'll be able to read all the journaling cards because I'm going to stack them one by one. And using the washi from the kit, I'm going to be able to add washi and flip that up and down. So here you see me just arranging all of those journaling cards in the correct order because I did them backwards the first time. And now I'm going to start using the washi tape from the kit there. So you want to use less washi tape than the width across the card. So I am just gonna cut out that flower towards the top, and then I'm going to go ahead and flip that up and then add some on the bottom as well. This is gonna make it sturdy when I add washi tape to both sides. So as I'm flipping those up and down throughout the years, it's very, very well glued there. It's adhered well there. So instead of me adding the second piece of washi tape to the card that's going to be under it, I'm actually doing 2 pieces of washi per card. I just want it to be very well adhered. My kids flip through my Bibles. Sometimes I take my Bibles to church, and other people will flip through my Bible. So I just want to make sure this stands the test of time. So here you see me adding tape one more time, and I'm adding that washi tape towards the top. That way I have 2 of its own pieces of washi on that card, and then I add the next journaling card under it. This also allows me to move the card down a little bit more so you can see that there are multiple cards under that waterfall journaling card. So I'm not going to make you watch me every single card that I do, but after I finish up here, then I'm going to embellish the page a little bit. So towards the bottom, I'm going to add some florals. I want to add the words promise and hope. The promise and the hope that they received from the word of God, they're absolutely beautiful. And this is what I feel would keep the Israelites going when they were in exile. And so when we think about the promises and the hope that Jesus offers us, that God offers us, and then when we think about our future plans for our lives and the future plans that God has for our lives, we can rest knowing that there's promises and there are hopes that God has in store for us with our future plans. I know that's a mouthful, but this brings me lots of hope. This brings me lots of security. I know that my future is secure because of the promises and the hope that God has already spoken in his word. So I add those words around. And now I'm just using some of the kit stickers, just adding and sprinkling some of those wonky hearts around, spreading color through the pages. I had this one mustard heart that I wanted to add, but it just didn't go anywhere. I'm also going to grab a label so I can add my date. I love using these labels. This is from the Faithful Digital. I used everything you could imagine. I used the stencil. I used the kit stickers. I used lots of the Faithful Digitals. I used the journaling cards, and the washi. So, and the stamp as well. So everything that could come with the kit I used, and I love how this turned out. Here I am rounding off the corners with my crocodile corner chomper. And in hindsight, I should have done this before. And while I was doing this, I was like, this is not very smart. I should have rounded off the corners. So there's a tip. Don't be like me. Round off your corners before you add them to your Bible. Because there is a tab both in the sticker and in the Faithful Digitals, I use the tab twice here. So it's on the back and front. And then I'm going to add my date stamp. And that wraps up my page. That is it, darlings. I absolutely love how this turned out. I wish I would have maybe hole punch before or corner punch before, but I love this little waterfall effect. I was able to get all of my journaling, answer all of the reflection questions, and have them all in one section of my page. So I'm glad that I put this page together. If you are new here, I hope you consider subscribing to the Creative Retreat channel. If you have any questions about anything I use, I'm gonna try to link everything below. There's still time for you to join us for this kit. It's such a good one, you guys, and it has loads of devotional content, which is why I really wanted to create this page to answer all those reflection questions right here on my Bible. Hit the like button and notification bell so you don't miss any of the Creative Retreat videos. Make sure you catch the rest of the girls. So much for joining me each and every video, darlings. God bless. Bye.